is going to be the USTEC 100, popularly known as the NASDAQ. And what a phenomenal week we have here on this particular asset. Remember, we have been buying this asset since the beginning of the week. We capitalized on the first trading opportunity, had the breakout of that 17,950 level, as you will see here, before the selling momentum came in, taking us out with about 100 pips thereabout on that day, though we had a stop loss at this point before we saw another opportunity to join the uptrend move from this moment. Now, during our live session yesterday, we did acknowledge this all over again. That is this descending trend line we identified here after capturing the series of lower highs since last week, Wednesday. And at this week, we saw how price broke out of that trend line, which of course incited that bullish idea we projected on this asset at the beginning of the week. And remember, I emphasized that we could be expecting a retest of the trend lines, which could incite the second leg of this bullish move, which was exactly what happened. Now, during our live session yesterday, before we went off, we talked about the potential of adding more buy positions to our existing trade, had the breakout of the $18,030 level, and then added more, had the breakout of the 18,110 area. So at this juncture, you should be having a minimum of 3 buy positions running in profit right now, where the first one is currently running with about 410 pips, while the second one is running with about 330 pips. That's about 700 plus in total. And the third one is running with about 240 pips. So roughly we are making over 1,000 pips if we had what we made at the beginning of the week. And for those of us who capitalize on this opportunity, well done and kudos to you. And if you still have your buy position running right now, it is high time you moved all your stop losses, securing this current buy position, as you do not want to be missing out on this profit you already locked in. So at this point, I will be suggesting that anywhere around the $18,030 level and the $18,270 area seems most appropriate to move all stop losses to. And please ensure that you give enough breathing space for price action to move around. So with a well secured position at this juncture, what is going to be our next line of action for today? Well, before we go into the technical details, let's run through the higher time frame to see what is price action looking like on that time frame. So we started our analysis on the 4 hours time frame this week, and this is what we came up with. Now, what we did at the beginning of the week was to take into consideration the character of price action since the month of November of last year, and we were able to confirm that the market has been bullish, and we had a couple of ascending trend lines to support this bullish idea. And you know how we do it in this community. As long as price remains above the ascending trend line, we shall continue to look out for patterns and structures that supports the idea of buying. Now, in addition to this ascending trend line, and to make things a little bit easy for us to be able to manage whatever positions we are taking at the beginning of the week, we identified our key level at the 17,800 area. In fact, this level here has played a significant role in determining the direction of price action since the month of February of this year. And look at how this level had played a significant role, though we had a choppy market condition throughout the midweek of February around here before price comfortably broke out of the structure during the last week of February. And since then, price action has maintained the bullish traction, as every attempt by the sellers to break through the 17,800 was met with stiff resistance from the buyers. And the same thing happened at the beginning of the week as we saw price come back to retest the structure, and since that moment price action has been finding higher highs and higher lows. And remember that we are at an all-time high zone, which is usually characterized with choppy market conditions due to fear that the market may crash at any point in time. And this usually result into this condition, and of course you can see what has been going on here in the last couple of weeks. Market has been very choppy around that particular area. Now, as it is right now, price action has found a new high at the $18,425 level. So I want to be acknowledging that high, as we are going to be using it to capitalize on an uptrend move if price goes ahead to break out of that structure. So you want to be labeling this area. So we have the 18,420. So let's mark out that level right there, and I would like it to show on the lower time frame too. So hold on a second, let me do this. Okay, so we have the 18,420 where price action as is the peak right now. That's the highest point price action has been. And I think we also have another level somewhere around the 18,350. Let me just use right here 18,350, which could be an area where a retest of structure could happen, considering so let me label this one 18,350. Okay, so this 18,350 level has been holding selling pressure for the last, hold on a second, I think 18,345 is what seems most appropriate here. 18,345. So I've just adjusted that. So we have the 18,345. Let me give this okay. So price has just broken out of the previous high, that is the 18,345. So what we are going to be looking at today is to see how the market is going to be reacting to this level. You know, from a theoretical standpoint, when price action breaks out of a key structure such as this, we may see price come back to retest the structure in an attempt to continue the uptrend move. And in fact, we may see a situation where it could transition into a consolidation phase, which could evolve into either an uptrend continuation pattern where the breakout of the 18,420 could welcome buying opportunity, and it can also evolve into a reversal pattern where the breakdown of the 18,345 could incite a sell-off, maybe back into any of those ascending trend lines we identified earlier. And I also want to emphasize here that this area has been a strong selling niche since the beginning of this month. So if price action breaks down and retests the structure, well, that breakout could be considered to be a false one, and then we shall be getting ready to join a bearish move to the downside. So at this point in time, we want to see how the market is going to be reacting to the 18,345 level. Now, when we scale down into the 1 hour time frame, we'll begin to see things more clearly. Hence, we want to be using the structure here to guide our trading decisions going forward. So with these levels identified here, so we see a situation now where price action is currently confined within the 18,420, yeah, and then the 18,345 level. So this is where our center of focus is going to be for today. So let me just zoom in and let's see how we will be preparing for the next move. So you know how we do it whenever price action falls into a range bound structure. We want to exercise patience and wait for price action to either break out of the resistant line of that range to give us an opportunity to add more buy positions to our existing trade, or the breakdown of the support line of that range to give us an opportunity to sell. Now, with the situation here, considering the strong bullish momentum we witnessed in the last 24 hours, I have a strong feeling that the momentum can continue to the upside. Now, if that is going to be the case, a buy stop order above the 18,420 will do just fine for us to join the bullish move. However, if price decides to drop, that is as a result of profit-taking activity, especially as we gradually move to the second half of the week, a breakdown retest of the structure will be a good opportunity to join that decline to the downside, and we can be looking at a TP target between the 18,110 area and of course these ascending trend lines we identified on the higher time frame. So we are looking at a minimum of about 230 pips if price drops below the 18,345, and a maximum of about 540 pips to catch here on that regard. So I encourage us all to mark out these levels on our chart, as we will be needing them as a reference point to guide our independent trading decisions. And please remember that our center of focus for today is basically between the 18,420 and the 18,345 level, where depending on the direction of the breakout of the structure will give us an idea of where price is likely going. And please do not forget, for those of us who still have a buy position running, I told us earlier to move all the stop losses to secure this current buy position. So well done, and let's see how this is going to be playing out. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to let me know in the comment section.